Hey guys, JB here. In this video, I'm going to compare the Rawlings Heart of the Hide that I've covered in a couple of previous videos to the SSK Z9 series of gloves. Now, I chose the SSK Z9 because it's closest in price to the Rawlings Heart of the Hide. The SSK is priced at $269 versus the Rawlings, which is priced at $299 at the time of this video. So there's a $30 difference. SSK is a legit company. They've been around a while. They focus on baseball only, and a lot of major leaguers wear SSKs, including Juan DeFranco of the Tampa Bay Rays. I purchased this glove directly from SSK online. They have a good website and excellent customer service. During the course of the buying process, I emailed them 3 times, and each time they get back to me within a half an hour. So I thought that was exceptional. The glove's an 11.5-inch glove with a closed web, a conventional open back, and a medium pocket. So it's primarily an infielder's glove, although with that closed web, it can also work well for pitchers who prefer a smaller glove. Out of the box, it comes with its own carry bag, which is a nice touch. And my first impression of the SSK is that it's a very stiff glove, and it's going to take some time to break in versus the Heart of the Hide, which is a fairly easy break in. Some players prefer a stiffer glove because they think it gives them more opportunity to better customize the pocket and personalize it the way they like it to be, whereas others want to get as much factory break-in as they can get. So that's one important difference between the two gloves. The leather in the Z9 is called Namishi leather. Compared to the Heart of the Hide, it's a firmer leather. I think it will be more durable and hold its shape longer than the Heart of the Hide. The texture is a little less smooth than the Heart of the Hide. If you run your fingers along the palm on the SSK and do the same thing with the Heart of the Hide, you'll see there's a difference in smoothness. I like a glove that's not too smooth because to me, it will have better stopping power and the ball won't jiggle around as much in the glove. You can get it out more cleanly, better transfer. So again, a little smoother, not quite as smooth. The wrist strap is fur-lined, a black fur lining on the SSK versus the Rawlings Heart of the Hide, which is a synthetic. They call it thermoformed synthetic lining. So some players have a preference for that, and some really like the comfort and the plushness of the fur. The welting on the two both have single rolled welting, and the fingers have plenty of room. The Rawlings maybe a little more room than the SSK. The SSK is a little snugger, but still comfortable. I have a medium-sized hand and no problem with the finger stalls. There's no crushing, no pinching going on with either glove. I've never had a problem with that with any of the Rawlings either. But be aware that when you buy a glove, when you're trying it on, make sure you don't get some pinching or crushing in the fingers, because that can become annoying, and it's not going to go away with breaking in. So if you find that in the showroom, move on to another glove. The lining of these two gloves is very similar. The SSK and the Heart of the Hide both have a fairly firm lining, as opposed to some of the more high-end gloves have a very plush, soft lining to them. I don't think that's as good. I prefer the more firm lining of these two, because it lasts longer. Although it may not feel as soft and plush in the showroom, eventually it plays better in the long run. The lacing on the SSK is actually a little thicker. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You can see it there. It's a little bit thicker than the Rawlings, so it's very strong. It's still very flexible, and that to me was a revelation. I had always thought Rawlings had the best lacing in the industry, the Tennessee Tan lacing, but looking at this SSK, I'm going to have to say I would give it the nod, although they're both very good quality lacings on both gloves. The thing that strikes me maybe the most on this SSK is just the excellent craftsmanship throughout the glove and the attention to detail. I mean, there's just not a single imperfection that I could find throughout the glove. No creases, no seams, no dangling stitches. When I say dangling stitch, let me show you what I mean by that. On the Rawlings, there's a dangling stitch there. I exaggerated a little bit for the sake of the demo, but it was there from the beginning. It's just a stitch that was raised up a little out of place, and those usually become a little worse over time. Not a big deal. They're pretty common in gloves. You'll see them even in high-end gloves. Of course, it doesn't affect the playability of the glove, but it is, to me, an indication of the overall quality of a glove when you don't see any dangling stitch. Every stitch there's nothing out of its place throughout the glove. So just exceptional in that regard. Cosmetically, they're both camel. The camel on the SSK is lighter, as you can see, even though I've had the Rawlings a while and it has gotten darker. When I first bought it, it still wasn't nearly as light. And the SSK has a little bit of a more of a yellowish tan to it. Overall, though, a very nice look to the glove. The black embroidery, the black logo really pops out well. The logo itself pops literally in the sense that it raises up. You can see it there. So it's a unique touch and a nice logo. The glove overall, the SSK has a real lightness or a feeling of quickness to it. So definitely a Wander Franco kind of personality. The Rawlings, I'd say, is more of a smoother kind of feel to it. So I'd say it's more of a Brandon Crawford kind of presence. So every glove has a different personality to it, and those are just my impressions of these two. What I like most about the SSK, a couple of things. It's that high quality impression that you get. It's just about as perfect as a glove can get. There's no use of any type of plastic or synthetics in this glove, which I really don't like any of that stuff being introduced, although you'll see it more and more in a lot of brands. This is just an all leather natural beauty. I just get a lot of confidence, put my hand in this glove, that it's going to play out really well. And as I break it in, I think it'll be a real competitive advantage for me. And the fact that it works both for infield and pitching is a real plus. So bottom line, is the SSK a viable alternative to the Heart of the Hide? I'd say yeah. It definitely is, and it's less expensive. So it may be something you want to check out and judge for yourself. Now, am I going to dump my Heart of the Hide and go all SSK? Of course not. Heart of the Hide is a great glove. But I will keep the SSK, and I'll break it in. I'll play through it and see how it plays out, and report back to you in a future video. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helps you, give you another perspective on an alternative to a Heart of the Hide. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section, and I will definitely get back to you. I always respond to everyone. So for now, thanks for watching. Keep healthy, stay safe, and stay tuned for more to come.